The 2-inch height advantage for Moorer. The weight exactly the same at 212, although Bean looks more like a middleweight, and the 3.5-inch reach advantage for Moorer. The IBF rules for this championship fight. They'll score on the 10-point must system. 3 scoring judges. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. The belt cannot save a fighter in any round. If an accidental foul occurs before the end of the 6th round, the fight is a technical draw. If it happens after the end of the 6th, they go to the scorecards. So here at the Las Vegas Hilton in Las Vegas, Nevada, ready for our main event, the IBF Heavyweight Championship between Michael Moorer and Vaughn Bean. Let's get the official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
From ringside, Bill Graham, Dave Moretti, and Jerry Roth. Fight fans, here we go with the main event of the evening, the IBF Heavyweight Championship of the World, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, it's showtime! Introducing to you our referee in charge of this bout, working in this his 38th world title bout, Mitch Halpern. I introduce to you first, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. Entering the ring, wearing black trunks with red trim, fighting out of his hometown of Chicago, Illinois. He weighed in at a ready 212 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring. 27 wins, no losses. 21 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight making his first attempt at a world title. Please welcome the IBF number 5 ranked heavyweight contender. Tonight's challenger, the undefeated Vaughn Shake and Bake Bean. And his opponent across the ring is the defending world champion. On my left, fighting out of the red corner, entering the ring wearing green trunks and fighting out of Boca Raton, Florida. He weighed in the same as his opponent at 212 pounds. His fine record stands at 38 wins, only 1 defeat, 31 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the former light heavyweight world champion, now in his 2nd reign as the heavyweight title holder, introducing the IBF heavyweight champion of the world, known as Double M, Michael Moorer. And once again, Mitch Halpern, our referee in charge.
Instruction is dressed, and I expect a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Do you have any questions? You? Okay, touch gloves, let's go.
Sellout crowd of 8,018 on hand here at the Las Vegas Hilton. Michael Moorer with Teddy Atlas. He opened as a 9-1 favorite, now 6-1. He told us it's going to be a short night. Meanwhile, the challenger, Vaughn Bean, a devout Muslim who couldn't make it to our fighter meeting the other day to attend services at a local mosque. His quality of opposition raising serious questions as to why he's here. But he's got 2 things in his favor. Michael Spinks and Joe Frazier as coaches in his corner, but they can't fight for Vaughn Bean.
I got 3 things. He's got Butch Lewis.
Yeah, right.
I mean, Butch can manage you to 40 wins without fighting anybody but the win.
Here we go, round 1, scheduled for 12 for the IBF Heavyweight Championship. And right off the bat, you really see a size difference, don't you?
Boy, I mean,
they weigh
it's striking.
212.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
But there's a lot of heights distributed differently. Bean's a little wide, appears to be a little soft. Michael Moorer also never been a real cut, sculpted fighter, but a dangerous one.
Moore told us he'll fight, box, do whatever he has to do to win, saying Bean just isn't on the same level. Bean admitting to butterflies, but 1 punch, he says, will get rid of that. He knows Moorer is always in very good condition, very focused and determined, although that focus comes and goes, but it gives Bean a bit of concern. Heavy shot to the midsection by Vaughn Bean. Bean 27-0 with 21 knockouts, but no recognizable names on his record. Unbeaten, untested. Does have a 6-fight knockout streak. Michael Moorer 38-1 with 31 knockouts. Hoping to take on the winner of Holyfield Tyson, May 3rd's fight, the rematch.
Michael Moorer pressing the issue, starting what might be just slightly uncharacteristically faster than normally, takes his time, all the time, watches plots, very methodical. Here, looking to press the issue, make a fight out of it.
A southpaw with a normally lethal left hand, Michael Moore. His style, though, a tale of two weight classes. Much more ferocious and aggressive as a light heavyweight. He used to knock guys cold as a light heavyweight. But it's been a different story. Less apt to brawl and get in there as a heavyweight. In his last fight, he had Franz both in trouble several occasions, but let him off the hook.
I don't think you'll see him doing any letting off the hook here. He has the, fight of all fights down the road, a rematch with Holyfield or Mike Tyson, and it just doesn't get any bigger than that.
Let me tell you, Franz Botha is not easy to knock out. He's a building. He just stands there and takes all kind of punches.
But for some reason, when both his hands were down by his side, Moore didn't do anything about it.
And I have to agree with you. He hasn't got the killer instinct he had when he was a light heavyweight. When he's a light heavyweight, I thought he was going to be in a big light heavyweight.
This is the first time in virtually years that a relative unknown gets a shot at the heavyweight title. The Rocky story still lives. Can Bean rise to the occasion and deliver? Certainly a different question.
Well, if he yells out, "Yo, Adrian," I'm going home.
I'll be right behind you.
10 seconds to go in the opening round. A heavy right hand there by Bean, but boy, it just like right off the top of the head of Moore. Moore didn't seem distracted by it at all.
Michael, listen, you probably let him steal that round. The most important thing that I told you is not to allow this guy to gain any confidence. You get me? Do not allow this guy to gain confidence. Now, we're not going to wait until we get weeds in the garden, and then we got to freaking rip up the whole garden and pray that we can save a rose, are we? We're not going to wait until this guy... Yeah, you're allowing this guy to pick spots. You got to press behind that jab. Otherwise, he's going to pot shot you on the way in. So you got to press, take a little water. You got to press behind that jab, and you're overshooting him. As you start to get close, take a little swallow. Get set to punch. You're overshooting him, and you're letting him work to the body inside. Don't let that happen. As you start to get your range, and you start to get close enough, let the punches go before you overshoot him. And you got to work inside. Don't put your hands behind him. Now he's looking to counter you with right hand. So you can feint him before you come in, or as you come in with the jab, move your head. Because that's the only thing he's looking to do, right?
Well, as Ralph Cramden of Honeymooners fame once said, no warming up in the bullpen. And that's the story for Teddy Atlas, getting right in the face of Michael Moore.
Well, you have to get in the face. It was a slip shot performance that first round. He just let him just drift along doing something. He may have done enough to win the first round. Nobody was doing as much except Bean was throwing punches.
I think Bean did actually win the first round, not by a punch, but Michael Moore led him. Michael Moore just, sometimes he loses that concentration, that focus. That's why Teddy Atlas is so good for him. He keeps him right on what he's supposed to be thinking about. He will come back there and let him know in no uncertain terms.
Bean, who has been called a mystery man. Not too many people have seen him. He says his best punch is the left hook. He does love to go to the body. He calls himself a boxer puncher who comes right at you, but does have a tendency to drop his guard, leave himself open after punching.
Michael Moore needs to step in with two jabs and a straight left hand in the midsection. Rip that right uppercut. He's got a vicious right uppercut and bring it up top and just follow up as he sees fit.
But Moore has to show everybody that this is a huge jump for Vaughn Bean. He's got to put him away and fast.
He can't let him hang around for 10 rounds.
I think that's the only way he's going to get respect. And
otherwise, he will have that moniker hung on him. Late starting Moore.
I'll tell you, from the tapes I've seen of Bean, he's a powerful puncher, comes forward, but this is a whole other story against Michael Moore.
Well, give Bean credit. He's ready to fight.
He walked into one there, did Bean.
He walked into a couple. He's taking his shot, and you got to admire that. But I'll tell you what, on paper, it doesn't look like he can do anything. Paper's got nothing to do with when the man's in front of you.
Michael Moore moving in, stalking Bean. The lefty Moore. Bean blocking that punch with his fists. Wide left hook by Bean, but leaving his midsection open. Less than a minute, round two. Straight right hand by Bean, but no damage. Moore with a straight left, but off the gloves of Bean.
Michael's starting to get a little at a timing now, starting to gauge the range. His counters are getting sharper. Bean's falling short. Michael's moving in, working the body a little bit.
There's the right jab of Moore. Let's see if he follows it up with a left. He tried, but being able to elude it. There's the jab by Moore, but it's one and done. Let's see if we see a combination. He does have that dangerous left hook. Round 2 closing.
All right. Now listen to me good. Listen to me good. Listen to me good.
Look good. Get on a little more.
All right, now listen. You're doing fine on that on the way, but you're taking him you're going to his right hand too much. You understand? So he's throwing the right hand because you're moving to his right hand. He's throwing it and catching it with you because you're moving it too much. Taking that way, making it and taking you go to your right hand. Move to your right. You understand? Yeah. You work good from there.
Vaughn Bean's putting himself in play. He's taking a shot. You see him, nice counter, left underneath and a right following. 2 or 3 more shots. He's taking his shots at Michael Moore. He's going to get his pound of flesh. Vaughn Bean taking a shot.
And Teddy Atlas in the face of Michael Moore as we begin round 3. Some moisture in the corner of Vaughn Bean. Mitch Halpern, who did such an excellent job in that first Tyson Holyfield fight back in November. The third man in the ring here. Bean, a 5-time Golden Gloves champion in Chicago. Averaging almost 7 fights a year. This is his first fight of 97. Well, down goes Bean, but it's a slip. I think they tangled up the feet. And they quickly continue. No knockdown.
Mitch Halpern right on top of it. It clearly wasn't a knockdown. It was a trip of sorts. Even though Michael Moore was throwing punches, it wasn't a knockdown.
Counter left hook to the body by Michael Moore.
Good, that's the way.
They seem to be happy in the Bean corner. It's Bean with a duck under move and then turns Moore around.
Bean's content right now to move, and it seems the game plan is to move and throw Michael Moore off, make him hustle, something that people say he's not willing to do. But I'll tell you what, Michael Moore pressing the fight from the onset, but he's careful. He's not going to make too many mistakes.
Bean told us his strategy was to stay busy, move a lot with lots of bobbing and weaving. He's doing that. He feels that an accumulation of punches will take its toll on Moore, but Moore has other ideas. He wants to get this thing done fast.
He's not moving too fast.
No, he's not.
He's moving very deliberately and calmly about his business as if he's just chopping down a piece of wood. I mean, he's not excited. It's not an exciting fight.
No, this could work out to be a big-time chess match and a very boring fight. Certainly, if the rounds is all but even, the aggressor, if he's affected Michael Moore, he'll get the rounds. But the punches are just not being landed. None of the clean punches are being landed.
I'll say this, though, Bean's certainly not frozen, not awed by the environment here. You know, it's a huge jump for him. First world title shot after fighting virtually nobody. Big crowd, sellout crowd, world heavyweight title, Bobby.
Yeah, you know, he talked about not wanting to get too excited early, recognizing the position he's in, biggest fight of his life, heavyweight title, but also that he didn't want to make any unnecessary mistakes, make Michael earn his stuff and listen to his corner.
And he's eluding us many of these punches by Moore. Moore has to be a little bit on the frustrated side right now.
Well, as you say, no one ever knows what goes through Moore's head. It will remain to see what Teddy Atlas, what magic he can weave to get this guy back on track.
He might wind up sitting on that stool, Teddy Atlas. We saw that nearly in the Holyfield fight. Moore, of course, defeated Holyfield for 2 heavyweight titles and then lost in dramatic fashion to George Foreman. He hasn't heard the end of it.
Then step it up. You hear me? Don't start. You hear me? Then start stepping it up if you don't want, all right? Start stepping it up. Listen, I told you that the key and the rhythm to this fight, give me that sponge. Give me the sponge. Wake up. Now listen, I told you that the key theme to this fight was not to allow him to believe that he belonged in here. You're starting to, he wasn't sure. He was reacting badly at the beginning. He wasn't sure if he belongs here. You're starting to let him think he belongs here. All right? Now he's fighting just the way we said when we brought Terry McGrooms in for him to possibly fight. He's picking spots. He's hitting and running. Now, when you're at the top at that distance where something can happen, you got to either move your head and counter or you got to get off first with the jab. You can't let him beat you to the punch at that top, that space. You know what I mean? You got to use that jab at that top, and you got to put punches together and follow your punches. You're throwing a left hand.
Very concise to the point by Teddy Atlas. It's an all-star cast.
It was perfect.
Yep.
I always said the guy's a writer. I mean, next time I want to write a boxing movie, I'm going to get him to write all the dialogue in the corner. I mean, the guy can talk. But did you notice the small little thing that he said as he sat down? Mora sat down. He said, "Don't start." You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like
it is the outcome.
It's like the wife getting nagged by the husband.
But the fact that he knows it's coming means he knows he's not doing something that Teddy's going to be unhappy. He's going to make him unhappy.
All right, let's see if he gets something started here in the ring. Michael Moore in the dark green trunks against unheralded Vaughn v. round 4.
Watch those heads in there. Watch those heads. Come on.
Mitch Halpern cautioning the guys to watch the clashing of heads while swinging a miss by Bean.
Let go in there. Let go in there. Let go in there.
Oh, a combination started by a left uppercut by Vaughn. Bean didn't have full impact.
Yeah, but he's not
doing the job.
He's not giving more respect. I mean, he's not in there scared. I mean, he's got his plan. He's trying to follow it. Got two great champions in his corner telling him how to fight. He's got to look good for them, Frazier and Spinks.
He's scoring some points here, the busier of the two.
Michael Moore is letting him do what he wants. Teddy's right. Nice counter.
A straight right hand there by Bean.
And it was a nice counter right hook by Michael Moore. But I'll tell you what, Moore's got to just step up the pace and get in his own rhythm a little better. He's letting Bean do more than he should be letting him do. This guy's never been at his level, doesn't know what that is yet, and he's letting him think that he's the same type of fighter.
Mora, who has been known to have a confidence problem, but Teddy Atlas apparently got rid of that for him, but you never know. Sort of exorcised those demons from Mora's head, but now Mora having his hands full with unknown Vaughn Bean to this point. There's a little right uppercut by Mora that set Bean back. I'll tell you, Butch Lewis, the flamboyant manager and promoter, has done a heck of a job with this kid.
Nice combination by Moore.
Michael Moore now beginning to open it up a little bit, but Bean just covering up, takes a big step back, big deep breath, showing patience, not rushing, trying to be as careful as possible. Nice try to just stay away from Moore.
I think the message is beginning to arrive.
Moore beginning to be on the attack a lot more now, and he's scoring.
Starting to get home with that right hook to the body, too. He's ripping it up inside pretty nice.
Good finish here for Michael Moore. Round 4.
Closed out that round very well.
Listen to me. Listen. You are dropping your hands entirely too low. Do you understand? You're getting hit unnecessarily. Unnecessarily. Do you understand? Do you understand? You're getting hit unnecessarily. Why? Because you're dropping your hands, you're just sitting around there. Don't you start that mess. You stay to the game plan, baby, everything will be all right. Do you understand? You're gonna be all right. Don't get lazy in there.
We're going to see Michael Moore working back in behind that jab. Nice straight right, another one behind it. Kind of clips Bean a little bit on the inside. I'm not sure how hard those shots were, but it turned his jaw well. You got another look at it, same thing. Michael's working back, he's pushing hard. He wants to get the jab, and the jab is so far being the most effective. There's a little semi-jab turned into a hook. It was his best combination of the fight so far.
Move his head. Go to the body. Go to the body, not the head when you close. Better stay still.
Teddy Atlas imploring Michael Moore to go to the body as we begin round 5, scheduled for 12. Moore boring in, barreling into the body as instructed by Teddy Atlas.
Big right hook to the solar plexus, too. He dug that one in nice, and you can see Bean didn't like it.
And Bean on the backpedaling motion now.
I think Bean's going to have a terrible time winning the heavyweight championship from Michael Moore, going backward the entire fight and fighting that defensively.
Not much surprise at home on our online scoring through 4 rounds. Michael Moore all the way. Bean at least keeping his hands up as he was told by his corner.
I actually agree with Teddy Atlas that Bean probably stole the first round by just being a little busier. But the other 3, I've given him Moore. As soon as he steps it up, he wins, does what he wants.
Moore is a very patient fighter. Patient.
Almost too patient.
Yeah, it's almost in slow motion. I mean, it's like he'll get there, but at his time.
Yeah, but how would he do against a Mike Tyson under these conditions?
Well, that's a matter of you're forced to fight or die.
Or Evander Holyfield for that matter.
Well, he didn't beat Holyfield, so he does all right. And when he has to, he does it.
The Evander Holyfield will just beat Tyson. You hear Butch Lewis, the promoter and manager of Vaughn Bean, screaming, use both hands.
Well, you know, Bean's only throwing 1 shot at a time. He's taking a wild swing here or there, a couple little tit-tats on the inside, but he's not receiving 1 right hand, not even hard, kind of a just stay away from me punch. He's not throwing anything with any authority, and he's just getting out of the way.
There's a left hook to the neck by Michael Moore that had to be stinging.
If that had been a little bit lower on the point of the jaw, that could have been damaged. Moore is getting sharp now. Moore is getting into a hunting mode. He's beginning to shoot bullets.
Bean seemed so much more confident at the beginning, almost as if he's saying to himself, what am I doing here?
Yeah, the initial euphoria is gone. The initial thing of that first one, here I am and I survived, is now, here I am, this guy's coming on.
We just all snapped in. This is Michael Moore. This is the IBF Heavyweight Championship. Although he's pounding away with the right, looking to recover and come on strong at the end of the round.
You know, it's evident, too, that Bean, even though he has 21 knockouts in 27 fights, it's 21 knockouts against 2, as Greg Hagen would say, T1 at taxi drivers. But he's not a big puncher. You can clearly see it. The only way he's not a big banger.
Well, in an effort to cover it all, let's take a look at the NCAAs. As earlier, Arizona knocked off North Carolina 66-58 to get into the championship game Monday night. And in the other game, Kentucky defeats Minnesota 78-69. So a final featuring Kentucky and Arizona in the main event. Wow.
Sure, if you belong to start to think maybe I could do this. You mustn't let up. Now look, when you're at the top of the distance, when you start to get into punching range, jab your way in. He's looking to counterpunch you. Come in off the side if you want, or jab your way in. Don't just walk in where you can counterpunch and walk out, all right? And you have to work the way in behind the jab. And when you throw the left hand, back with the hook to the body, because you miss the left hand, you'll catch.
And we hit round 6, scheduled for 12 for the IBF Heavyweight Championship. Steve Albert along with Bobby Ches, the fight doctor Ferdy Pacheco, Jim Gray here at the Las Vegas Hilton.
I think Michael's looking for 1 big shot, a little too often. I think Teddy's right. He works him down a double, triple jab. He's got the point scored, and work off that. Make the combinations happen after the jab's already been effective.
Oh. Now that was a nimble and nifty move for a guy that big. I don't want to say fat, but that thick. I mean, you know, he did a move like Lopez did.
Bean is not throwing enough punches, and what he's throwing, most of it, Michael's blocking, hitting his hands. He's picking his spots, but he's not really pressing the issue. He's not taking command anywhere. 1 or 2 swings. Michael Moore is not offering up a tremendous amount either, but what he is offering is cleaner, better placed, and more effective.
The more detractors will say, what is Vaughn Bean still doing here? So he played the role of devil's advocate. Yeah, I think Moore is being almost too patient.
I have to agree. I'm a fan of Michael Moore's. I wanted to fight him way back when we both had light heavyweight titles. I tried to get an opportunity to fight him while he had his first run at the heavyweight championship. I think he's an exciting fighter, but he has those lulls and those lapses, and I would jump on him.
He's going to give Teddy Atlas heart failure.
But right now, he should be jumping on Bean.
Let's look at it the other way.
Butch Lewis and Michael Spink screaming in the background, 30.
Are the ones that are screaming and not Teddy. Teddy screams when the bell rings. For 60 seconds, he screams.
It's controlled chaos.
This is Butch Lewis volume.
Less than a minute, round 6. Not many thought it would go this far.
Bean appears as if he is so deathly afraid of getting hit with one of the punches. As soon as Michael makes a move, he's got his head in his hands and he's, he's hiding and guarding himself. This is a heavyweight championship. However you got here fighting.
Really a no-win situation for Moore if he wins. Or, of course, the unthinkable. Of course, big money payday at the end of the rainbow. Should he get by Vaughn, Bean, but credibility-wise, I'm talking about philosophically.
It wouldn't do anything for the box office, let's put it that way.
His wallet, a different story. His bank account.
First things first, fellas.
All right. Crowd booing.
Get that pace up. You gotta pick that pace up.
Where's the mouthpiece? Listen, Vaughn. The only reason why this guy's touching you, the only reason why that this guy's touching you is because you're slowing down to his pace. You pick that pace and make him let him throw himself out. You stay to the game plan. What the game plan is has worked. It can work.
Ooh, hold up.
You taking this man, stop going to his right hand, let him tap you to that. You go ahead to your right hand.
Guys to get into dangerous territory where he can start to think that he belongs, and then all of a sudden he can steal the last few rounds and survive. You got him ahead. They got him ahead. You got to press behind the jab and get off versus pot shot here. And you got to quit being lazy. I'm not lying to you. You're making the wrong choice inside. You're putting your hands behind them instead of fighting. Fight inside and follow your punches.
It's like we're in the reruns. Round 7.
Did you hear that somewhere before?
Get the feeling I did.
It could also be we've been sitting here all evening and we've seen some very exciting fights. And this all of a sudden is like they've stepped into molasses and they're just dragging their feet around. They're heavyweights, yes, but they're fighting a lifeless, unenthusiastic fight when you compare it to what we saw with Lopez and what we saw with all of the fights. Every one of them were good, action-packed fights. This
looks like it's going to be a night of decisions.
Yeah. Well, what is particularly unusual is the amazing disparity in these two guys' careers, and the one with all the trophies and the championships and the triumphs, Michael Moore, just can't take this guy out. Who's done virtually nothing in terms of ring record. Obviously, he's 27-0, but he is all unrecognizable names.
And he's not doing that much to Michael. He's not hurting Michael. He's not forcing some pace. What he's doing is getting the heck out of the way, covering up and getting out of the way again. Once in a while, he throws this, swings one or two, wings him in there. But Michael just needs to work.
Yeah, but wouldn't you like to see him?
Look at this, a combination by Vaughn, Bean on the head of Moore.
I started to say, wouldn't you like to see Moore throw combinations? I mean, what is this one punch at a time? I mean, what, heavyweights do throw punches more than 2 or 3 at a time. I mean, come on.
Bean all of a sudden gaining in confidence after that little flurry. We approach the final minute of the 7th. Moore looks kind of tired.
Step back.
Bored may be a better word than that.
Well, that's no excuse. Now the one and done jab by Moore, not following it up with the left.
If I didn't know better, I'd say that he didn't even care.
Yeah, the crowd agrees with you.
Well, I mean, this is what we used to call carrying a fighter. I mean, like, lift him up and carry him on your back.
This will do nothing for the already waning respect and credibility of Michael Moorer.
You know, Michael Moorer is not a bad guy. He gets a bad rap about some things, but he is certainly not helping his cause.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, work, they're working there. Come on, let go.
And the cascade of boos continues from this sellout crowd.
You try to like him. I mean, he's got a big record, and you think, gee whiz. I mean, he got there somehow. He beat Evander Holyfield. He beat everybody.
And he finishes with a flurry. There's more.
Rounds now, and it means he's getting more and more confident. You're just looking at him.
Here.
Now start fighting.
Come on, Mike.
Start fighting.
You gotta punch.
Behind your jab, you're letting him punch at you at the top. That's all it is to it. Behind your jab, when you throw the left hand, come back with the right hook to the body. Put punches together. You're inside, you're not even punching.
Don't let him steal the
When you're inside, you're not punching. I want you punching when you're inside. Michael, you're going to have to live with what happens here.
Well, we've heard those words before from Teddy Atlas. You're going to have to live with what happens here.
For Teddy Atlas, everything is like a Civil War battle. You know, it's like life and death. This is the entire, your life is on the line here. You're fighting this kumquat. What are you doing?
You know, even when you train for a guy that doesn't look like he's going to be much, and whether he is or isn't, you train like he's a world champion, and if you beat him in 10 seconds, terrific.
Moorer does step it up for a moment.
All I'd like to see him throw some combinations, you know, zip up some punches besides just one at a time.
Meanwhile, Bean going to the body.
I know, but Bean's not throwing punches with any authority. He's not throwing any bang bombs. He's not hitting like Mike Tyson.
Therefore, bottom
some
line,
shots in. I don't know what Michael's afraid of.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. What is he afraid of?
Why not counterpunch? What's he waiting for? This guy's coming in like a slow-moving freight with body shots. You know, where's the counterpunch? Where's the counterattack?
And again, Bean going to the midsection of Moorer.
I have it 5 rounds to 2, but it would be 7 rounds to zip if Michael Moorer just worked.
Hey, a good uppercut with the left hand by Vaughn Bean that made contact to the chin of Moorer. And now a left hook by Bean. Bean's landing here in round 8. They're not the most powerful punches in the world, but he's getting through.
Any of the big heavyweights, not as big as George, but George obviously one of the premier punchers in the heavyweight division for many, many years. But a lot of the big heavyweights take advantage of Michael Moore's lackadaisical nature and hurt him badly.
He just has these lapses of concentration. And it has been quite evident here tonight. Combination by Vaughn Bean, first to the body and then to the head. And he's coming in. He's putting the punches together just as his corner urges.
You see now, when Vaughn Bean wants to just rest and run and sit there, Michael's got to make him work. Make him do something he's not used to. Don't let him pick and choose his spots. At the same time, Bean's doing what he's supposed to.
Vaughn Bean is winning this round. Is what he's doing.
Come on. Look at that. He had them right there. He could punch. I mean, it's almost like you revert to your corner man thoughts, and you just want to scream at him. Come on, there he is. Pop.
See, Michael's still landing the clear punch like there, that left hand.
Yeah.
You see, he lands 2 or 3, and Bean's slapping his hit Michael's gloves, and nothing really effective. He's not even getting Michael's attention, but Michael's just letting him do enough to be in the fight. Shouldn't be in the fight. Not with his performance.
Moore's passion for the sport continues to be questioned. And again, an illustration right here with just about 10 seconds left in the 8th round.
The heck with the sport end of it, have a passion for your job.
Exactly.
He'll go down in history as the reluctant champion.
Let's go over to Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, thank you, Steve. I'm now joined by John Horn, one of the co-managers of Mike Tyson. You guys just returned with Mike from Boca Raton. How's the training camp going in preparation for May 3rd, and how's Mike's shape right now?
Very well. Mike's in the kind of condition he should be for 4 or 5 weeks outside the fight. This is what we've been looking forward to. He's been working extremely hard for the last 6 weeks, and we're looking forward to a big day, May 3rd.
And how much different is it now being reunited with Richie Giacchetti, and how much does he have to overcome to beat Holyfield in the second fight and to make the adjustment?
Well, Richie has always been, we felt since he was with us, a part of our team, and he's feel very comfortable with Richie, but more importantly, Mike's feel comfortable with himself. This is the way he wanted to train. He didn't have this kind of chance to train for the first fight. No excuses whatsoever. We're looking forward to May 3rd. I'm sure we're going to be all right.
And how has Mike handled this period? Has it been difficult for him?
Very well. Mike's a professional. He knows how to handle every bit of this business, inside and out the ring.
John, thank you. We look forward to May 3rd.
Thank you.
Back to you, Steve.
All right, thank you, Jim. Round 9 scheduled for 12 for the IBF Heavyweight Championship. The crowd has voiced its disapproval throughout the night. Michael Moore cannot find a way to take the untested, unheralded, unproven Vaughn Bean out of there.
I mean, I saw the fight with Frank Bruno when he took the title from Alvin McCall, and I didn't think it was a great fight. And this is making that look like a world war. This is one of the worst heavyweight title fights I've seen, and I can't even remember ever seeing one this boring.
Well, up until his 94 win over Holyfield, Moore's 12 heavyweight fights lasted an average of 5 rounds. His 5 fights since have averaged over 11 rounds. And this one is into the 9th now. So he is obviously a changed man since earlier in his career. Here's a right hook by Vaughn Bean that tagged Moore on the left side of the face, and it was an off-balance shot.
Yeah, right. Vaughn Bean's going backwards and throwing a punch forward. He can't hurt anybody like that. And the angle he's throwing at is almost like an overhand slap. He's not driving straight right hands down the middle. He's not digging shots to the body. You know, that was a nice uppercut. But there, see, he's falling backwards when he throws the punch. It's just not going to be effective.
No, but you know what? It landed, and at least it was a 3-punch combination. Give Bean some credit, and nothing back from the champion. I mean, let's give Bean a little bit of credit here. I mean, we're making fun of him. We shouldn't make fun of him.
I'm not making fun of him. I'm just saying Michael Moore is not doing things that are very, very elementary.
I mean, the only way I see Bean getting knocked out here is if he gets too brave and goes toe-to-toe with him at the end. If they pump him up and think he's got a chance to win, which God knows, I don't know whether he has or not, because I'm giving rounds away like water to, I think I've given 2 rounds to Bean.
Well, we're belittling Moore.
I've given Bean 2 rounds as well.
We're belittling him, but there's just cause. We're not making this stuff up.
Michael Moore is a better fighter than you're watching tonight. He's a better talent. He's much better, and it hurts me as a fighter. Well, now I'm a former fighter, but as one who's made a living doing this, to see someone who has so much talent not give, not just the public, but not give himself the best chance he can to win.
I agree with that.
He's a much better fighter than this.
Very well said.
Well, if you think we're shooting from the hip here, wait till you hear the words of Teddy Atlas in the next few seconds after round 8. We're going to take you back.
See there now.
Happens here.
See there, he lands a nice 1-2 and then backs out. Yeah. He hits Bean, he hits Burke's Bean a little bit, another follow-up jab, but then he backs out 1 at a time, 2 at a time.
That's what the old cornerman used to holler. Stay there, stay there, don't go back.
We want you to take a listen to Teddy Atlas in the face of Michael Moore after round number 8. Watch what happened.
You go down. Yeah, he's right here. You know who's on this phone? Bob, the ex-wife. You know who's crying in the background? Tell him, Frank. Bobby. Tell him who's crying in the background. The mic. Come on. Tell him why he's crying. You know why? Because he's listening to the fight. Bobby, yeah, tell him he's all right. Listen, your son is on the freaking phone crying. He won't get on the phone. You know why? Because the announcers are saying his father doesn't want to be heavyweight champ. And you know what he asked your wife? You know what he asked your wife? How come Daddy don't want to be champ no more?
Well, Teddy Atlas getting very dramatic.
Did I say that, Steve?
Bringing us into it, yeah. Saying
I didn't say he didn't want to be heavyweight champ anymore. I just said he isn't fighting up.
Well, he's trying to get a message across, obviously.
Unfair advantage of modern technology. Cellular phones ought to be banned from prize rings.
Round 10. That is about as dramatic as it can get in the corner when he throws a cell phone in your face saying your son is on the phone.
One of the knocks against Michael has been he'll do just enough to win the round and never anything more. And I have my head fairly comfortably, but it's not, I don't know, I can have a point of reference to say to you what that means at this point. Vaughn Bean is not fighting a spectacular fight. Vaughn Bean is not even fighting a very, very good fight. He hasn't got the power. He's not really putting together combinations. He's not forcing the issue. He's fighting a good defensive fight and not getting hurt and landing some slappy combinations and counters, but Michael Moore is making him look like a genius.
That's the point. That's what makes this all the more crazy.
Well, one guy, if this goes to a 12th-round decision, one guy will go home embarrassed, and the other guy should go to a victory party. Bean should go have a great night for himself. If he lasted 12 rounds with a fighter like Michael Moore, he should never forget it for the rest of his life.
If our executive producer's listening, Jay, and I know you are, I want out of retirement if Bean wins. I want a shot, Jay.
Come on, work in there. All right, break, step back, watch his head.
Halfway through round 10, and Vaughn Bean is still standing.
Still standing, still. So I mean, there's not a bad intention on one blow. I'll slap you and then I'll hold you so you can't hit me back. I mean, this is not.
It's like those mornings in the gym when you don't want to work real hard and you and your buddy get in there and just kind of duke it out a little bit.
This isn't brain surgery, though. This is just a matter of sucking it up and going to it and walking to your fate and taking a real shot.
Let's face it, this is not Mike Tyson in front of him. This is not Evander Holyfield. It's Vaughn Bean.
Yeah, but I wouldn't care if it was Butterbean. If it was Butterbean, I'd try and kill him. That's the point.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
You try and take everything to the place.
There's a slapping left hook by Vaughn Bean.
Yeah, Moore continues to throw, you know. He's not in here just catching.
So he moves in behind the jab, does Michael Moore. He rips underneath, and then as soon as he allows Bean to hold it. And Bean slaps him a couple times, but, you know, they don't hurt Michael, so maybe he's not afraid of anything because the punches can't hurt him. Maybe he's not paying attention to him. It's impossible to get inside his head.
Well, right now, you know, what can you say? I've got Moore ahead of Bean, and I've got Teddy Atlas ahead of Butch Lewis. Butch is just screaming.
No, Butch is out screaming.
No, but Teddy's using new technology, a cellular phone.
You're going to have to live with more than those booze, I'm telling you right now. Michael, you told me watch you. What happened? You didn't do it. Listen, Michael, it's the 11th round. Let me tell you something. I just got the scores. Listen to me. It's the 11th round. You're behind by 4. That means there's 2 rounds left. What does that mean? Yep. You know math. That means you got to knock him out. Now, it can't be with one punch. It can't be with one punch. That's what you've been doing. That's why he's been escaping. You got to come in behind the jab, throw the left hand, come back with the hook. And listen, you're accepting clinches inside. You're accepting the clinches. He's the one who wants to clinch. When you're inside, he wants to clinch because he wants to just survive the rounds. You're the one who should be punching inside. Rotate your shoulder. When you start to get close, stop yourself so you can punch before you smother yourself at the right distance. And if you have to take a step back and keep punching, do it. You hear me? But you can't put your hand behind him. You got to punch the combination.
Another motivational tool by Teddy Atlas. Obviously, he can't have the scores, but he's imploring Moore to knock him out. Here we go, round 11 for the IBF Heavyweight Championship.
I mean, the way I see it, Bean needs a knockout to win the title, but all he needs to do is stand up for the next 2 rounds to make a name for himself. If he stands up with his hands down, it looks like Michael won't take him out right now.
Well, I'll tell you what. If Bean makes it to 12, he can stand up tomorrow morning at the press conference and laugh out loud at the press and every one of us wise guys who makes a living picking fights. He should never be this way.
Being in the round's one thing, but to not have been tested any which way and where. Michael didn't test his heart. Michael didn't test his body. Michael didn't test his conditioning, his skills, his chin, his heart, anything, nothing at all.
That's a travesty.
Well,
you got to test. You got to see what a man's willing to give up to take your title. You got to see how far he's willing to go.
this guy's not fighting for the title. This guy's fighting just to survive 12, and for the rest of his life say, I went with a heavyweight champion for 12 rounds. He did it. I mean, more allowed him to do it, but he did it.
We talked so much about the recognition, the respect, the credibility of Michael Moore coming into this fight. And boy, he certainly doesn't do anything for that.
Our producer just brought up in the truck that Bone Crusher went the distance with Mike Tyson, but all he did was hold and do nothing. This isn't Vaughn Bean just holding and doing absolutely nothing. It's Michael Moore not doing anything to make Vaughn Bean fight back.
You hear the Vaughn Bean contingent to our left.
All right, break. Step back in there. Step back.
Belting it out throughout. There'll be a lot of hoarse voices at the end of this night.
I would have lost my voice half an hour ago.
Butch can holler like that all night long. You should be in a negotiation with him.
Less than a minute remaining in round 11. Continues to be
Michael's
lethargic.
winning, but it's really, really boring.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be funny if the judges quit keeping score and forgot about it? I figure he'll just add it up.
It would be justifiable almost.
All right, break. Step back.
All three judges from Las Vegas, Dave Moretti, Bill Graham, and Jerry Roth.
It will be funny to see if they give this kid 3 or 4 rounds. Bean.
I've given him 2 rounds. He's not really doing anything to a degree. I'm curious what our online people see. It's got to be just as bad at home as it is here.
If this thing goes to 12, and when the bell sounds, it may break all records for booing. A digging left uppercut to the body by Vaughn Bean at the bell.
Well, let's hear what this opera is about.
Wake up! Wake up! Don't let him steal this. Understand, Vaughn? Please, baby. Please.
Fight down.
Do you understand, Vaughn?
Fight down.
Vaughn, don't you let him steal this.
Nah, but you want it.
You want it? Do you want this, Vaughn? We ain't coming here for just a
Five times. All right, do it. Now listen to me. Listen, I ain't gonna bullshit you and give you a free ride here. And I'm gonna make sure that, listen, everyone's gonna hear this. You're not punching inside. I'm not gonna let you bullshit you and say he was tying you up. I'm not gonna let the freaking get a free ride and bullshit the public. You know what? It's gonna be said right now. They're all listening. When you get inside, you're allowing him to tie you up because you don't want to fight. I want you to make the right choice to want to fight. I want you to press him behind. Give me the towel. Press him behind the jab. Throw the left hand. Put your punches together and keep following it. Keep following the punches. And inside, don't accept the clinches. Come on, you gotta make the choice. You want to punch inside.
Teddy Atlas, the ubiquitous Lou Duva, imploring Michael Moore on for round 12. This is it. It's been a lackluster, lackadaisical effort to this point by the IBF heavyweight champion, the reluctant champion.
They didn't wait till after the round was over. They started boom before the final round started.
Here's how they see it at home. Very close. Moore by 1 round, 6-5 after 11.
Boy, would that be the robbery of all time?
Break, come on.
People at home believe the announcers and the cornermen sometimes. I think Bean's won 3 rounds max. And he's just not getting beat up.
And still, he just stands there. With the Vaughn Bean people, they feel they can just taste it. But
you could say shame on Michael Moore, but Vaughn Bean's not fighting a hard fight. He is the last round. He's waiting for Michael to come to him, just trying to counter, cover up and counter, not taking the fight to the champion, not trying to take the championship. Michael's at least still coming forward, trying to make the fight.
And trying not to get knocked out, Bob. He's trying to get the bell, that sweet bell that's going to give him, put it in the hands of those mysterious people, the judges in Las Vegas.
And that bell is akin to a cash register for Vaughn Bean at the end of the 12th round.
It is
that.
It is that. And it's got dull chimes for the champion.
Yeah, look at this. Vaughn Bean teeing off to the head of Michael Moore with a left and then a right. Pounding shots. But again, you have to wonder about the power, but he's the busier of the two.
So what? He landed 4 shots. I don't care what the power. At least he's throwing combinations. The champion seems to have forgotten what a combination is. 1 punch and grab.
I'm on punching there.
We approach the final minute of the fight. There's another right hook followed up by a left hook by Vaughn Bean.
See, he's trying. He threw 3 punches there when he's exhausted and trying, and the other guy grabbed him. And the champion grabbed him. Shame on him. Come on.
All right, break. Step back. Step back. Come on. Last round. Come on.
An awful, awful night in the career of Michael Moore.
Come on, work in there.
And the has only himself to blame.
I believe so.
See, Bean's doing something smart too. He's walking in, he's smothering a shot, and he's just holding. He's smothering a shot, and then he takes, see, as soon as he gets in, tries to smother a shot and just hold Michael Moore. He's not really fighting a fight either, not a good hard fight, but he's trying to compromise Michael Moore.
And the boos continue. Final seconds of the fight.
I don't know if you blew it. I don't know if you blew it. You didn't, huh? You didn't, huh? You better not. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put them both up now. You hear me? Get them both up. Get them up.
You know why that is? Get them both up. Chris Dundee just said, look like a winner. In case you do get a decision going your way, you look like you expect it. Always look like you expect you won.
It's not going to influence the judges, that's for sure.
Sure! Sure! You won that! You won it. Get the Jack, can we understand this?
Well, some dramatic stuff in the ring as the two embrace. But what must be going on in the mind of Michael Moore?
I certainly don't think Vaughn Bean did enough to win any heavyweight championship, but Michael Moore barely did enough to defend it.
It's more than just being a friend. You understand? I don't have the luxury to freaking lie to you because you got to live with that shit.
You won, Michael.
Let's get this glove.
You won, baby.
Let's get these gloves off.
Come on, you won.
Teddy,
go.
Teddy.
Let's go, baby. You won. You won, baby. You won, baby. You won.
The lone cheerleader in that corner, saying you won.
Thanks.
Scissors.
Be careful. I don't want no one else cutting him.
No.
Because you're liable to get excited and cut his arm.
You're ready.
Won, baby.
A disgusted Teddy Atlas.
Even Don King looks disgusted.
Well, sure, he can't sell anything off that.
Right.
Jimmy Lennon Jr. is ready with the decision. So we'll soon send it up to our ring announcer. He's got a piece of paper in his hand. I assume that's the scoring.
But I don't want to have it.
So we'll send it up to Jimmy as soon as we're ready. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing here at the Las Vegas Hilton, we have a majority decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Dave Moretti, scores at 114 to 114, even a draw. Judges at ringside, Jerry Roth, he scores at 115, 113. Bill Graham scores at 116 to 113 in favor of the winner and still IBF heavyweight champion, Michael
I had it 116, 112.
And you hear the reaction in the background. The booing continues, but a majority decision for Michael Moore. What were you saying, Bobby?
I had it 116, 112, maybe 116, 113 if you call one or two of those rounds even, which you could have. But Moore, I mean, Bean didn't do enough to win the title, but boy, he did nothing for his stock.
All right, we'll get it up to Jim Gray. This should be interesting. Over to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. Michael, first thoughts here. It seemed like a listless and lifeless performance tonight. Can you explain your performance?
Well, I guess it was a style. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but the style.
He know who he lost.
Well, all I can say is that I won the fight. Judges scored the fight. I don't score the fight.
Do you feel as though you won the fight?
Yeah, I feel I won. I was an aggressor. I was using my jab, and I was the one putting the punches together more.
Your performance, however, for a heavyweight champion is going to be assessed as pathetic. Would you agree with that?
Well, that's okay. I've always had critics.
But in this case, it seems as though they might be right, correct?
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. The fact is that I won. That's all that matters.
Vaughn Bean hadn't beaten anybody. He'd beaten one guy now with the record over 500. His goal seemingly was to stay with you for 12 rounds, and he did.
That's what he did. I mean, you can't take nothing away from him. He's a fighter just like I am. He's a heavyweight just like I am. That comes with determination, skills.
You come into this fight looking for a fight with the winner of Tyson Holyfield. If you're the general public and you're looking at that, you've got to just shake your head and wonder how in the heck is Michael Moore going to put on any kind of performance with either of them.
styles make fights, like they say. We'll see what happens.
The cell phone that Teddy Atlas referred to back in the 8th round, he said, your son is crying, he's not happy with you, and he's somewhat embarrassed. Did that inspire you?
True. I don't think that was true because
just a motivational tool?
Probably. I don't even have the number of my son is right now.
He also went on to say that you didn't want to fight. Did you want to fight?
It was a style. I mean, can't take none away. I did what I had to do. I did what it took to win.
Michael, congratulations. You advanced. Let's move over here now to Vaughn Bean. Vaughn, did you feel as though you won the fight?
First of all, I'd like to say all praises due to God.
I know you're the right kind of guy.
I felt it was a close fight, but I thought I pulled it off.
It was a styles kind of fight, as Michael Moore just said. Your style was to seemingly just lay back, hang in there, and go 12 rounds. Was this more of a Rocky Balboa type story, like Bobby Ches said, and you just wanted to hang in there and stand up at the end?
No, that is not correct. I wanted to win all times. I wanted to see an opening and take it. What I did, I was working hook. I should have worked it more to get him out of there, but I didn't.
How would you assess Moore's performance?
Moore, he's a straightforward guy. He's in shape, and he won.
Now, your management, Butch Lewis and so forth, all of them are vehemently complaining about the judge's decision here. What is your main complaint?
Jim, I want the world to hear this. 3-4 weeks ago, I approached the Nevada Commission as a gentleman and complained to them about how the press out here, the commission called me in, said, my guy, they want to check and see if he really qualified. We don't know if we should let him fight for the title, if he's ready. All this is in the paper. All this, the judges, the local officials here, read this all over thinking my guy ain't ready. Butch Lewis has a reputation too. Butch Lewis has never, ever brought a fighter to the ring that wasn't qualified to win.
But what is it that you're charging? Are you charging? Wait a minute, hold on. Are you charging that they prejudiced the officials before the fight?
Jim.
Is that the charge?
It's, what it is this. It's only human nature, and I tried to explain that to the commission that every day here in the local media, they were talking about my kid might not last around. My kid doesn't deserve it. They want to jump on me and Don King because we made the match. You saw the fight. Does it look like he was supposed to be here? Yes, because we won.
That's all well and good, but I've been around sports a long time, Butch, and for you to charge that officials are swayed by the media, that's ridiculous.
As much as you, don't, go ahead, boo. As much as you have to understand the human psychology. If I tell you enough times to go to the store and buy Tide, when you walk in that store, you walk to the supermarket, you go to the distributor, you grab Tide, because you hear Tide, buy Tide, it's the best. Or you say, don't buy Tide, it's no good, it's no good, it's no good, it won't clean your clothes. Well, this is what they've been hearing here 8 weeks, all in the paper. These officials live here. They can't help but to think, well, this kid is not really he doesn't belong in here. All I asked them to do was bring in neutral officials who wouldn't be biased by the local media.
All right, Butch, very, very unhappy and understandably disappointed, but